Good evening and welcome to the news at 8. I'm Sarah Jacob. The top story today. In view of the possible threat that the new COVID-19 variant Omicron can pose in India, an urgent meeting was chaired by the Union Home Secretary today. The government has now decided to review its decision on resuming scheduled commercial international passenger services as well as the SOPs on testing and the surveillance of incoming passengers, especially from countries identified as at risk. The meeting was held a day after a high-level review by the Prime Minister on the new COVID-19 variant of concern, Omicron. After a long hiatus of more than 20 months, the government had just this week, on the 26th of November, announced the resumption of scheduled international commercial flights from the 15th of December.
As of now, it is under, of course, greater scrutiny because of the fact, depending on the virus and how it's mutated, whether it's come to India, whether it's spread, what are the sources. These are huge concerns, and that's the reason why this time round the government does not want to be caught off guard. They're taking far greater precaution, as you can see, and even sensitizing not only port officials but airport officials to ensure that wherever the port of origins, especially from risk countries, there is greater scrutiny in terms of surveillance, in terms of examination of testings and various other features to be able to isolate as far as possible anybody who could be having this virus. So clearly I think it's under review, it's under a lot of progress, and we'll have to wait and see how it emerges in the next few days.
And the centre has asked all states to step up intensive containment and active surveillance as well as better vaccination coverage amidst worries over this new coronavirus strain which was first detected in South Africa this week. The Union Health Secretary has written to all states and union territories about this variant. He's asked them to enforce intensive containment, surveillance measures and increase the coverage of vaccinations. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi today skipped an all-party meeting called for by his government a day before the start of the winter session of Parliament. The Defence Minister and the Commerce Minister were present from the government side, but the opposition was not amused.
The customary all-party meeting of the government before the winter session of Parliament, but with the notable absentee, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The government was represented by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi.
सिर्फ और सिर्फ पार्लियामेंट अफेयर्स मंत्रालय, पार्लियामेंट अफेयर्स मंत्री ये मीटिंग बुलाता था। माननीय मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद वो इस मीटिंग में आने का एक परंपरा शुरू किया है, इस बार नहीं आ पाए हैं।
The opposition questioned the Prime Minister's absence, raising the list of demands. A legal guarantee for the MSP, compensation for families of farmers who died during the protest, sacking of Union Minister Ajay Mishra Teni, and rising fuel prices and tension with China.
उसमें उन्होंने ये भी कहा था कि कानून तो ठीक है, मैं लोगों को समझा नहीं पाया, तो इसका मतलब यही होता है कि कानून आज ना कल किसी और रूप में आ जाएगा। एक डर हमको भी है, तो हम ये पूछना चाहते थे अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर यहाँ आते।
TMC's Derek O'Brien tweeted, "Government refused to discuss Pegasus on the floor of Parliament in the monsoon session, and then the Supreme Court spoke. Government brutally bulldozed farm bills in Parliament, and then farmers won. Today at an all-party meeting before winter session, we did spot-splattered eggs on the government's face." Aam Aadmi Party Sanjay Singh walked out of the meeting saying he was not allowed to raise the demand for the MSP for farmers in this session.
यहाँ पर ये हालत है कि किसी भी सदस्य को बोलने नहीं देते, किसी को अपनी बात रखने नहीं देते। मैं किसानों का मुद्दा उठा रहा था, मैंने साफ तौर पे कहा कि भाई MSP की गारंटी का कानून इसी सत्र में लेके आइए।
Opposition unity is unlikely to be the same as it was in the monsoon session. While opposition parties are planning for a united flow coordination on the floor of the House, they don't want to be seen publicly together because of the upcoming state elections. Clearly, this gives an opportunity for the government to push through key legislations. With camera person Ashok Male, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
And the BJP has swept the civic polls in Tripura, held amidst a bitter feud with the Trinamool Congress. The BJP bagging 217 of the 222 seats on which the elections were held on the 25th of November. The CPM has won 3 seats in Trinamool and the Tripura Mortha 1 seat each. So of the 334 total seats, including the AMC with 51 wards, 13 municipal council and 6 Nagar Panchayats, the BJP has won 329, having been elected unopposed in 112 seats. Earlier, polling took place on the 25th for 222 seats. Now, Prime Minister Modi tweeted saying that the people of Tripura have given a clear message that they prefer politics over good governance. I would like to thank them for the unequivocal support to the BJP for Tripura. These blessings give us greater strength to work for the welfare of each and every person in Tripura, he said. The TMC, meanwhile, responded saying this is only the beginning. We thank the people of Tripura for blessing us abundantly. Despite rigging, threats, violence, we stand firmly as the strongest opposition in the state. Your ruthless anarchy will soon come to an end. BJP Biplab, keep watching. And a show by the comedian Munawar Faruqui, scheduled to be held at an auditorium in Bengaluru today, was cancelled. It has now been cancelled. This after the Bangalore police asked the organisers to do so, citing a possible law and order issue. In a letter to the organisers, the Bengaluru police, whose job it is to maintain law and order, said that Mr. Faruqui was a, quote, controversial figure and that his show could lead to law and order problems in the light of threats from Hindu vigilante groups. Mr. Faruqui is a stand-up comedian from Gujarat who was arrested in 2021 by the Indore police after a BJP MLA's son said that the jokes he was going to crack at a local show that he was going to perform in are offensive. Now, this is the latest scheduled show by the stand-up comedian to be cancelled after a similar program was terminated in Mumbai last month following threats from the right-wing group, the Bajrang Dal. According to the organisers today, already 700 tickets for the show were sold. So there was a lot of demand to hear this stand-up comedian Munawar Faruqui. He has meanwhile put up a post on the cancellation in which he says, Nafrat jeet gayi, artist haar gaya, saying hate has won, the artist has lost, I'm done. NDTV spoke with the artist at the beginning of the month about this constant harassment by extremist Hindu groups. We spoke with him after his show in Mumbai had been cancelled.
तुम आर्टिस्ट लोग को दबा रहे हो। आर्टिस्ट ही तो आर्टिस्ट है यार, वो तो उसका तो काम है लोगों को एंटरटेन करना। तो तुम मुझे मैंने वो दिया उनको और सेंसर करवा दिया कि ओके मेरे शो में कोई प्रॉब्लमेटिक चीज़ नहीं है, आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। बट जब कोई फिजिकली कोई जगह पे जाए और आपको बोले कि आपके यहाँ पे अगर शो होगा तो हम ये जगह को जला देंगे, हम ये जगह को तोड़ फोड़ देंगे, तो वो ये सोचेगा ना कि यार 1 लाख का नुकसान होगा चलेगा, 10 लाख का नहीं होना चाहिए। नफरत जीत गई इसलिए ही शो कैंसिल हुए। बट नफरत का एक ही फ्लॉ है ना, उसकी कमी एक है कि वो नफरत है, वो कब तक रहेगी। कभी कभी ऐसा लगता था कि हाँ यार हो सकता है मेरी कोई बात खटक गई ये वो, बट अभी जो हुआ उसके बाद आई एम वेरी श्योर कि कुछ लोगों को पॉलिटिकल क्लाउड लेना होता है, कुछ लोगों को फॉलोअर्स या जो भी है, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड कि वो लोग ऐसा क्यों करते हैं, बट वो एक नफरत है।
And a major entrance exam for teachers in Uttar Pradesh was cancelled today after the question paper got leaked on a WhatsApp group. Police have made several arrests in the case. The Uttar Pradesh teachers' eligibility test is a state-level teacher eligibility test. It's mandatory for teachers who wish to teach in primary or upper primary classes in the state board-affiliated schools. It's now going to be held next month now.
यूपीटीईटी की परीक्षा के पेपर लीक होने की सूचना मिली है, इसलिए दोनों पालियों की परीक्षा तत्काल प्रभाव से निरस्त की जा रही है। पुनः 1 महीने के भीतर अभ्यर्थियों से बिना कोई शुल्क लिए परीक्षा पुनः कराई जाएगी। एफआईआर कराने के निर्देश दिए जा चुके हैं और यूपी एसटीएफ को जांच सौंपी जा रही है ताकि दोषियों को चिन्हित करके उनके खिलाफ कड़ी कार्रवाई की जा सके।
बड़ी मुश्किल से तो डेट आई थी, फिर आगे बढ़ गई और अभी टाइम लगेगा। वैसे भी डेट आने में कोई 1 महीने कहा ही है, फिक्स डेट का भी तो कुछ पता नहीं है।
हाँ, अभी जिलाधिकारी महोदय जी से सूचना मिली है कि आज का एग्जाम जो है दोनों पालियों का रद्द किया जाए। बिल्कुल कोई बात नहीं, तो भाई वो है, मगर रद्द होना थोड़ा सा निराशाजनक होता है क्योंकि विद्यार्थियों का 1 महीने का समय बढ़ जाता है, आने वाली वैकेंसियाँ जो होती हैं उस पर भी काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ता है इसका। बाकी वैसे कोई बात नहीं है, मगर ये अच्छा है कि बड़ा समय पे जो जिलाधिकारी महोदय जी खुद आके यहाँ पे सूचना दिए, इसके लिए हम लोग उनके आभारी भी हैं।
And the UP Chief Minister now says that the culprits will be booked under the National Security Act and the Gangster Act. He's also ordered the reconvening of the exam within a month.
एक गिरोह कहीं से उसने पेपर लीक किया, हमने कहा पूरे पेपर को अभी निरस्त करो, पूरे गिरोह को गिरफ्तार कर लो, उन सभी बच्चों को सकुशल उनके घरों तक पहुंचाओ, 1 महीने के अंदर पारदर्शी तरीके से फिर से परीक्षा आयोजित करो, किसी भी बच्चे से कोई शुल्क अतिरिक्त नहीं लेंगे, उनके आने जाने की फ्री में व्यवस्था देंगे। जिन लोगों ने ये शरारत की है वे भी सुन लें, उनके खिलाफ गैंगस्टर के तहत मुकदमा दर्ज हो रहा है।
ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में लगातार इसी तरह पेपर लीक हो रहे हैं, इसी तरीके से परीक्षाएं नहीं हो पा रही हैं। आने वाले समय में यही बेरोजगार नौजवान भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ मतदान करेंगे और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सफाया होगा।
And the Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi on Sunday announced the setting up of an exclusive research centre on the Hindu holy scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, as well as the 2 epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Let's go across to NDTV's Ghazali for more on this. So Ghazali, the Punjab polls around the corner, and how does one take a look at this as an attempt to woo the Hindu voters ahead of those crucial polls?
Yeah, certainly. Just ahead of polls, the Chief Minister visits a region in Punjab which has higher population of Hindus, or they are very active there politically as well. We have got a BJP MP from Hoshiarpur district in the neighbouring district of Kapurthala, where in Phagwara today the Chief Minister was addressing Brahmin Sammelan, and he made a lot of announcements there. He even went on to say that he learned Sanskrit to pursue a research on Mahabharata, the epic, the religious book of Hindus. And it is also due to the fact that ahead of the elections we are seeing a multi-party contest in Punjab. Former Chief Minister Amrinder Singh announcing his own party. He is aligning with the BJP. So all other parties are trying to woo every other community. Earlier we saw it with the SC community, which has 31%, around 31% population in Punjab, while the Hindu community has 38% of population in Punjab. So even as far as vote size is concerned, every other party, and even today the Chief Minister making these announcements, sort of highlight that the party is also concerned over retaining the Hindu vote, which was there during the previous polls.
All right, thanks so much, Ghazali, for that. We're going to go in for a short break, but after that, the main takeaways and the myths busted in the National Family Health Survey. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, wasting children, anemic women, higher levels of obesity, a demographic shift. There are now more women than men in India. The total fertility rate has dropped to 2, the lowest ever, lower than the national replacement rate of 2.1 children per woman, an indication that our population is stabilizing. There have been many big indicators like these that have emerged from the National Family Health Survey 2019-2021 released this week. But here's a special report from Punjab that looks specifically at the sex ratio statistics.
According to the National Family Health Survey 2019-21 released by the Government of India, there has been a significant improvement in family planning and sex ratio. But in Chandigarh, which has the lowest fertility rate, the big concern is sex ratio. The use of family planning methods is up from 54% to 67%. There are now more women than men in India, 1,020 women for every 1,000 men. Let's take a look at the state-wise breakup of the fertility rate. The 5 states with fertility rate above 2 are Bihar, Meghalaya, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand and Manipur. The 5 states with the lowest fertility rate are Punjab, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Even though Chandigarh's total fertility rate was marked as 1.4 in the National Family Health Survey 2020-21, experts say acceptance to family planning methods is still very low.
जो NFHS 4 का डाटा था उसके तुलना में थोड़ी सी मार्जिनल रिडक्शन है. फैमिली प्लानिंग एक्सेप्टेंस बढ़ी नहीं है. So there is cross reduction in marriage before 18 years. तो ये बड़ी अच्छी बात है. उसी से एसोसिएटेड है टीनेज प्रेगनेंसी एंड एडोलेसेंस फर्टिलिटी रेट. इसमें सब्सटेंशियल रिडक्शन है. तो ये एक सक्सेस स्टोरी है.
But the bigger concern is the sex ratio at birth in Chandigarh, which has dropped 14% to 838 females for every 1,000 males. Meanwhile, the Union Territory Health Department has questioned the report and claimed that they are compiling their own data.
जहाँ तक मैंने अपने यहाँ पे डॉक्टर्स से बात किया, उनका कहना है कि कहीं ना कहीं कुछ डाटा का अभी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि ये डाटा कहाँ से लिया गया है. 925-30 के आसपास का कहीं का एवरेज हमारे डाटा के हिसाब से है जो हमने गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में कुछ रखा हुआ है. तो इसको एनालाइज कर रहे हैं. मैं अभी ये तो नहीं कहूँगा कि वो रिपोर्ट गलत है. हम तो ये मान के चल रहे हैं कि हमको इसको देखना है.
While the sex ratio for the total population has increased from 991 to 1020 for every 1,000 men, the sex ratio at birth saw only a marginal improvement from 919 to 929, so boys continue to have a better chance of survival than girls. With Mohammad Ghazali in Chandigarh, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And finally, KGF Babu, or the boy from the Kolar goldfield, may have been a little-known name in the state, but the Congress's Yusuf Sharif has now got all the attention on him thanks to a declared family net worth of over 17,000 crores made in his poll affidavit for the December 10th Karnataka Legislative Council polls. He couldn't even finish his Class 5 education due to financial stress at one point of time.
54-year-old Yusuf Sharif, Congress candidate in the Legislative Council elections to be held in December, has declared assets worth over 1,744 crores in the affidavit given to the Election Commission. He is a billionaire candidate who used to drive a tempo in Kolar near Bengaluru in 1993.
भाई बहन 14 आदमी थे घर पे. 14 आदमियों को पालना बड़ी परेशानी थी. परेशानी की वजह से मैंने स्कूल पढ़ा नहीं. मैंने स्कूल छोड़ के इन लोगों मेरे फैमिली के लिए मैंने मेहनत करा था. उसके बाद मैं स्क्रैप बिजनेस किया. उसके बाद मैं रियल एस्टेट किया. जो भी पैसा कमाया मैंने रियल एस्टेट में ही कमाया सर. स्क्रैप में लाखों में कमाया, रियल एस्टेट में करोड़ों में कमाया. ये हाई कोर्ट से जो प्रॉपर्टीज आते हैं वो प्रॉपर्टीज एक्शन में मैं खरीदता हूँ.
He now has a house in Kolar, one in Bengaluru, a Rolls-Royce car and gold-plated furniture.
हम लोग सोने से ही पैदा हुए हैं. सोने की मिट्टी से ही पैदा हुए हैं.
Gold is such a theme in his life now that even his name has changed.
आपको इलाके के लोग किस नाम से जानते हैं?
KGF बाबू के नाम से जानते हैं.
KGF बाबू यानी?
KGF मतलब कोलार गोल्डफील्ड.
Yusuf says that he will sponsor children's education in his area. Yusuf Sharif faces 3 cases in court related to real estate and 1 case of income tax evasion of around 14 crore rupees. With Nehal Kidwai in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And that's news at this hour. Thanks for joining us.